Hello, welcome to What's Your Perspective. So for the following two episodes, we're going to discuss about interior design. We have interviewed Shushana, the founder of STUDIO SHOO in 2017. We're going to delve deep into her design philosophies, principles, and creativity through her projects to, in a way, dispel some of the misconceptions about interior design being merely a style. So we hope you do stick around, learn, and enjoy the following episodes.
So, first project, it's Abu Ghosh. It's a small, very small restaurant. Um, I want to start from the beginning and share the whole story from the client first call to the opening of the project. This was actually the first my project I took on after opening my own studio. A client reached out with the request to create a museum, a special place where they cook hummus. For those unfamiliar, hummus is a Middle Eastern dish made from mashed chickpeas and tahini, olive oil, lemon juice, and a little salt. It is usually served with pita bread. Actually, I have admit that when I first heard the client request and understood that they wanted the project to be done in Middle Eastern style, I felt tempted to say no. The reason was here you can see how I imagine the Middle Eastern style. I think it's a limitation for designer because there are many cultural elements and they need to incorporate into the interior. And I think copying someone else's idea often feels inauthentic. So I didn't want to be involved in this project. But when we met with the client and I saw the building where the home stay will be located, here you can see it's a very small pavilion. I immediately fell in love with it. This pavilion is located in a small and cozy lane. It's Sivtsev Rajak it is old garden pavilion built in 1911 with a small courtyard full of greenery. And here you can see we did small sketches, architectural sketches of this facade. And very famous poet, his name Sergei Yesenin, used to come here and recite his poems. So no wonder I was so captivated by the charm of the place that I decided to take on the challenge. But second challenge, it's not only interior design in the Middle Eastern style. This space was only 22 square meters and it had accommodate open kitchen, a small space where Middle Eastern food and spice was sold, of course seating and so on. Here you can see layout. So next step, my client was so prepared, and before I started to create the design, he told me about his vision of the concept and the name of the project. Name of the project is Abu Ghosh. Abu Ghosh is a small city where all three religions coexist. The general value of this project is peace and cooperation. And regarding the interior, he prepared for me references. And here you can see he wanted to be full of details, vintage chairs, vintage lighting. And he wanted very difficult interior with a lot of details. So
Somehow
the
reminds me
first
of
option,
Morocco style.
mhm,
Is that true?
yeah, it's maybe a little Morocco style.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted use a lot of
Yeah, sure.
vintage furniture, lighting, small details, pictures, and he give me these references, and I started to do design. And this is, you can see, first option of the interior Abu Ghosh, because the first option I created was based on what the client wanted. And my advice to young architects and designers is simple: don't do this, please. Because looking back now, I realize that it's not good approach. Because that time I was a young designer, and I believed that making the client happy means following all the instructions. However, clients often have a vague and unclear vision, usually, and he likes different part of interior, and when you combine all of this, it starts to be not clear. uh, don't have some concept idea, and when I merge of this element combined in design, the result not satisfying. So this was actually what happened with my client. Um, uh, the interior that he proposed was too elaborate, with too many competing details. And when I showed the client the final concept, they agreed it wasn't working. So at this point, I asked the client to give me more creative freedom to bring my ideas to life. And here you can see second option, which I proposed was the one we ultimately chose. The interior design, the second option, it's stuck a balance. It was minimalistic, yet vibrant, full of patterns and details, how he wanted. Um, yeah, this is second option. This is renders. When we talked about first options, we talked it's a very small space, and if we use a lot of details, a lot of different chairs, so it starts to be very massive, and that's why I decided to do very light spaces. It's just white walls, but added some colors. So uh, let's start from the beginning about the interior. Here it's a realized photo of these interiors. In the center of the space, we added a big communal table for lovely groups. In the window areas now feature high seating with soft pillows for a cozy touch. It's like some life hack, because I have only 22 square meters, but I need to do some a lot of not a lot of sitting, but um, try to do sittings for guests, because when cafe have, I don't know, 6 sittings, it's so small and not financial good. Yeah, and that's why I decided in the center it's a communal table, and I added sitting in the window sills. So
Yeah,
near the entrance.
it's
Mhm.
amazing how you're able to fit in so many things in 22 square meters.
Yeah, it really was challenge.
Yeah.
Um, and how I remember, but let's check, because I don't remember how much we can do it. I remember it's approximately 15, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8. Yes, approximately 15 sitting in 22 square meters with open kitchen and WC. I think it's a it's a good for client. So yeah, we added sitting in the window and the entrance near the entrance we placed a showcase displaying Middle Eastern food, Middle Eastern products, and here you can see open kitchen and decorated with handmade pattern tiles. About open kitchen, it's a good it's a good instrument again for designer to do open kitchen because the guest can see how prepare food, and it's like an interactive for guests. It's like theater for me, um, because these interactive elements, it's like new experience for guests. And about overall design in unison, high and bright space of the pavilion, I kept walls white and add colors. It's blue, pink, and dark blue. Uh, and here you can see how I use a lot of colors and yellow too, but it's very unison working with each other, and it's not and you don't feel it's very massive. Uh, all it's combined in this place. Um, and what else? And I want to talk about vintage lighting. You remember client wanted to use vintage, and I added a different type of lighting here. It's pendant lighting and wall lighting, and again, it's a very I love so much these details. This is two decorative yellow polycarbonate arch windows, and it's meant be associated with the light in the window of the home. And but this is it's a storage, and but every time we turn on light, and you feel it's like home. And the furniture also blends into the space, becoming part of the overall interior. Here you can see it's solid oak tables, colorful chairs, window sills, arched shelves, and antique green fountain. Uh, all these elements were designed to evoke new impressions for guests who will be ready to share them with others. When I created interior, I every time tried to do some point for guests. It's helped for guests to remember interior and have this new experience. For example, this fountain, it's a real fountain. You can take a bottle and take water and go somewhere if you need. You cannot stay in the restaurant. It's really like fountain in interior. And finally, the details that emphasize this colorful atmosphere are authentic little things like painted plates. I add this photo, and antique from the flea market, a fan in the selling. We added fan and many small decorations. Generally, I want to say I just use a white wall like a background and use very colorful different colors and very small details, and all this interior it's start to working. Yeah, it's about Abu Ghosh.
But you know, there are several points in this project that's really interesting. The first one is when you have this interaction with the clients, they saw something and they have this vision, but they don't know the scale of the place that they are working with might not like work with that style. So you have this like kind of Roman influence exterior, then they wanted Morocco interior, and it's such a small place that it gets super crowded and busy, so it's not gonna work in that way. So going through this minimalistic style is way like more a smart approach here, and you did a great job in designing it.
Thank you. I think that's why when client invite designer, yeah, of course he can share some ideas, because I think it's a partner. We are partner. We want to do very has efficient place,
Yeah.
and it can be work. And I like to work with client because there's restaurateurs, and yeah, I can do interior, but restaurant, it's not only about interior, it's about food, about service, and all these details we need to combine. And that's why first I listen what think my client and try to do it, but it's not a good idea. Now I'm listening my client, but propose sometimes another options. Because I am a designer, I have more experience, and I'm architect too. I understand this is very small place, and it's not good to do a lot of details. It can be more clear interior.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
about the process. When
yeah.
you said that it's not gonna work, you didn't just stop there. You made it like an example, a prototype, and show them that it's not gonna work there, and you go to the second option after that.
You know, it's not only me. It's very interesting when a client told you something and you do it, and he saw and he said, "Oh no, it's not. I don't like it." He really said me, "I didn't like it, this." I say, "Oh, but you told me all these details. I did it, and you didn't like it." Yeah, he understands it too, and that's why he told me, "Okay, please, what do you think you can do, and let's see second option."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing that the first option didn't wasn't approved though, right? The one you the one you originally made. But I have several questions in terms of like I want to know the strategies and uh that you did apart from, since this is a 22 square meter space, apart from making seats along the windows, what other strategies did you make to fit in uh those number of chairs in there and furniture and seatings
Yes.
basically?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I don't have choice. um, I mean, I don't like when if I start to think about architect, I saw the window, it's so high. And if I do seat standards, people feel like sit on the floor, on the ground, and on the ground, because the window is so high, not its standard sizes. And that's why I start to think, oh, maybe I can do bar seating, uh, and people can see near window and see lights on the window and feel more comfortable. And second, it's very good when you see higher, you can see much more processes in the kitchen.
Yeah, and the next thing I want to ask, really like how you were able to make this work because you're able to use so many colors, and yet it doesn't seem to be too cluttered. So how were you able to manage that with your design?
It's very interesting question, because you know, in every project I use colors. I don't know how it's happened. I can say I can explain it. I just feeling really in different magazines or journalists ask me how you do it, or maybe how explain it, but I don't know, I'm feeling like this. Really, I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. It's I guess it's the artistic side in you that just comes out in your design.
You know, I'm from Armenia. I was born in Yerevan, and I'm thinking maybe it's from my root,
Uh-huh.
because we have one very famous artist. It's Martiros Saryan. If you see his pictures, it's very colorful, and he didn't like black. He didn't use black. Uh, inside he used very dark blue, but not black. And maybe when in my childhood I saw these pictures, I like so much. I don't know. Sometimes I'm thinking about this, but I really like colors. I can do beige interior. No, I have one. I like beige interior. It's about natural interior with a lot of wood and white colors, but it's only one interior. And I don't use colors.
Yeah, it's good. I like it when designers are able to pull up from their childhood and from their culture in expressing it in their design. So it makes the design more unique and personal. Just I think it's good. Maddie, you have other more questions?
Yes, yes, Shoshana, after this place was opened, what was the reactions? Did you talk with your
Oh,
clients after?
uh, after my clients open second abogado, after 1 year. Oh, it's a really interesting concept, because this building in the courtyard, and it's not about you go on the center line and saw restaurant and go there. No, it's about guests find this place. And the first time my client stay near main street and describe about project and invite in this small house. But after maybe 1 month or 2 months, it's a lot of people do a lot of photo, and Arch Daily publication this
Yeah,
project. And after that, I think Ghosh
congratulations.
publication all the world. I really all magazines, media published this project.
Yeah, that's so great. Congrats. And you know,
Yeah, it
you
was
still
very
have those style from the beginning that he wanted through the project, like this tiling that I see. Like we have such a thing in Morocco style, but this is like somehow the formed way of this styles. Did you have to do some collaboration with like people there for this project?
collaboration. We work with artists who create plates, and we work with suppliers who create cement tiles with our sketches on our sketches. And what else? And yeah, we are working with artists who create these pictures. And if you know, if you see here, it's some art objects with waveforms. We made it from by electrical wiring. You know,
Yeah, I was gonna ask
I
you
can
about
show
that,
here.
the idea behind those electrical pipes.
Yeah, it's electrical pipes, but I don't remember how I. It was 2019.
Right.
How much? 5 or 6 years ago. I don't remember how it happened, but I like so much this approach again. For example, in one project I use ventilation pipe and vintage lighting, and use chandelier created chandelier. I like some building features and use its interior, and much more like building process, not when it's finally open. interior. Yeah.
And you know what's really interesting here is when you see the pictures for the first time, it doesn't look like 22 meters. Like this place has a lot of detail to offer that when you see the picture, it feels much bigger than this. But fitting all this different detail in such a small place is such a great work here.
I think because it's higher space, and second because wall is white, it's helped me to expand space.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And maybe last question from me. So these tiles are customized, right? Custom tiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Right.
like us.
Oh, I like work with. I like to create furniture, tiles, different
Uh-huh.
patterns,
Yeah.
installation for every project because it's
Uh-huh.
public space. I need to every time something imagine for guests.
Right.
Because they're very important to have for guests new experience, impressions when
Right.
they come in this
Uh-huh.
place.